So we told you that we were going to give you a peek behind the curtains. Are you guys ready for that? So we have an amazing team back at the corporate office that spends hours and hours working tirelessly on products and new product lines. We have the privilege today of welcoming three of the most brilliant minds that represent those teams to this stage to give you guys some insight into what it took to create the Bold line and into some research and some testing. So why don't you guys help me welcome to the stage with a huge round of applause. First, Brittany Graff, Isaac Frisby, and Ryan Roberts. All right. Okay. So these amazing people are a lot of the genius behind these products. So I want you guys to introduce yourself again. Tell them your name, maybe the department you work in, and how did you contribute to the Bold line? So Brittany, let's start with you.
Great, thanks Russell. I'm Brittany Graff. I'm the Managing Scientist of Essential Oil Development in the Research and Development Department. Our team works on the research and testing of single oils, as well as the formulation and testing of oil blends for safety, efficacy, and aroma.
Awesome. Thank you, Brittany. Isaac Frisby.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isaac Frisby. I am the QC Microbiology Lab Manager, and our group tests the product to make sure that they are safe for consumers, and we also do environmental monitoring in the areas in which product is made. For this specific study, we partnered with Brittany's group, and we performed efficacy testing of a variety of oil blends using a test called the disc diffusion assay.
Okay, how many people are excited to learn about the disc diffusion assay? Hey, that's pretty good. Hey, one thing about Isaac as well is if you see him anytime at the corporate office, he always has a bow tie on. And he has the most extravagant collection of bow ties that I've ever seen.
It's true.
So you guys that know me know that I love crazy socks. Isaac loves crazy bow ties, so we got that in common.
I love it.
Okay. And last on the end, we have Ryan Roberts.
Yeah, so Ryan Roberts, I'm part of the research and development team that does the final formulations of the products, and we also do some of that product testing. As a little side note, my wife has been really happy the last few months. I've been bringing a lot of work home, so I've been doing a lot of extra cleaning, and it's been great.
All right. I think there's going to be some other happy wives in this audience once they get these products in their husband's hands, right?
Yeah. Oh,
More
yeah.
cleaning. Okay, so I just want to say thanks to all of you, but more importantly, the three of you represent literally hundreds of people that have been working on this project all the way back to April 2020. That's right, kind of when it started. So to take you down memory lane just for a second, and I know a lot of you were there, but January 2020, we were in Hawaii on the Big Island. Was anybody there? So the prior week, we had the Bloom Presidential Summit, and then the following week, we had the incentive trip. And the one thing that we heard consistently between those 2 weeks was this: we need consumable products. So I just want to say we heard you right after we got back. April, COVID hit. Our corporate team essentially started to work from home, work remote, but this group continued to push through and continued on the Abode Home line so that you guys have that right now and moving forward. So huge thank you to you and your teams. So Ryan mentioned he's been doing a little work around the house, as have I. I've got a family of 6, so when it comes to home cleaning products, there's a lot of choices. And choices, price range, different brands. But Ryan, you have been on this project since day one, all the way back in April, the consistent piece here. I'm going to start with the $1 million question for you, and that is, what makes the Abode line different and special?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love talking formulation. So on these products, specifically the dish soap, the surface cleaner, the laundry pod and dish pods, from the start, our goal is always to use highly functional ingredients that we're using the best of green chemistry, and that we're also very good from a biodegradable standpoint. So if we look specifically at the dish soap, it's a blend of some natural surfactants that really are meant to cut grease and clean a variety of different filth and dirt that you might have on your dishes, while still not being harsh on your hands or on the dishes themselves.
Okay, I'm a sales guy, but what a surfactant is a surfactant? Can you help us out there?
Yeah. So surfactant is short for surface active agent. So surface active agents are in a lot of different products that you use. Essentially, it's a molecule that normally part of it is water soluble, and the other part of it is oil soluble. So when you apply it to clean something, it will essentially encapsulate that oil or filth that you want removed. So when you apply that water, then it's washed away. So that's what a surfactant is. But if we look at the surface cleaner, it's another blend of some different natural surfactants that are really meant to work on a variety of different surfaces, whether that's countertops, in the kitchen or in the bathroom, and that they really leave it smelling clean and fresh, but without a noticeable film.
Okay, so you talked about the multi-surface cleaner, and you talked about the dish soap. What about the laundry pods and the dishwasher pods?
Yeah, so the pods are kind of an exciting one, and it's a blend of different ingredients. Some of those ingredients in there are called enzymes, and enzymes are really meant to break down difficult stains whether it's on the dishes or in the laundry. That it's a really safe, kind of biodegradable way to clean those. Additionally, it's encapsulated in a biodegradable polyvinyl alcohol film that makes it very easy to use, very convenient.
Awesome. So one of the things that I had asked earlier is, what really makes this different, and maybe anything else you want to add there?
Yeah. So you can never talk enough about the pure and potent essential oils that we use. So from the beginning, it was always our focus to make sure that those cleaning benefits of those oils were enhanced with it. So it's really the oils that set apart from other natural alternatives. And yes, the oils make it smell beautiful and fresh and everything, but there's a lot more to the story than that. It's really the hero, the backbone of these products are the essential oil blends.
So that's a great reminder. Our essential oils are second to none, and that's a key differentiator. Okay, so we have some amazing scientists and just brilliance here. Are you guys ready to kind of really go behind the curtain? Okay, to do that, I need your help. Okay, so everybody repeat after me. Raise your hand. Say your name. I haven't heard that name before. I understand that these are initial results, and more needs to be done to substantiate them. Okay, you heard Emily talk from stage about some of the testing that's been done, and that you won't see it in our marketing literature yet. But I will say what we have so far, some of the preliminary results are amazing. So I have with me Brittany. Brittany, you ready to get a little geeky?
I sure am.
You want to get some science going on here?
I'm always ready for
Are you guys ready to get a
science.
little sciencey? Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to call you a geek.
I perfectly accept it.
Okay, but you have been a part of the formulation team of the Abode blend,
That's right.
the 15 ml bottle. So can you walk us through, how did you get to that blend, and what was the process like?
Yeah. Well, Ryan told you a lot about all of the great natural and biodegradable ingredients in these products, and we really wanted to take these products above and beyond by using essential oils that can add efficacy, add cleansing properties to these products. So we wanted to create a signature aromatic blend that smelled refreshing and pleasant, but also add to the cleaning properties. So we looked at lots of oils to determine which ones were reported to have activity to be able to inhibit the growth of common household microbes like bacteria and mold. So we started with 36 oils that had been reported in the scientific literature to have this activity. And we worked with Isaac's team to to run the disc diffusion assay, which is basically looking at inhibition of bacteria and mold growth in Petri dishes. And we narrowed down to 10 oils that showed the highest activity, but also could be blended in a way to give us the aroma that we were looking for. Those oils are lime, litsea, cassia leaf, lemon eucalyptus, tea tree, arbor vitae, cilantro, eucalyptus kochii, lavandin, and lemon myrtle.
Okay, so let me make sure I got that right. You started with 36 oils, and you narrowed it down to 10 oils, and it's not just 10 oils, it's 10 CPTG quality doTERRA
Exactly.
oils, right? Okay, so I saw that list of oils. There's a couple interesting ones in there. What can you tell us about maybe some of the uniqueness of some of those individual oils?
Well, what I found to be most interesting was that some of the oils showed higher activity in inhibiting the growth of some kinds of bacteria over others. And that really goes back to the chemistry of the oils. So the active constituents, the active molecules in those oils differs from one oil to another. So for example, litsea and lemon myrtle are really high in citral, and those oils showed higher activity against some kinds of bacteria than, say, arbor vitae, which is higher in methylthujate and alpha-terpenol. So we saw differences in activities of different oils. But we also really cared about this blend being effective for a wide range of bacteria. So when we formulated it, we tried to incorporate the oils that showed the highest activity against a broad spectrum of bacteria and mold. The other interesting part is doing that kind of efficacy work while developing a blend that smells wonderful. So the lime, the litsea, the lemon myrtle add those citrusy notes, but it's complemented by arbor vitae, which has that spicy and woody note to it. And then the eucalyptus adds a camphoraceous punch. We used Eucalyptus kochii for the very first time at doTERRA. It's a new species of eucalyptus, and it's known among all eucalyptus species to be the highest in 1,8 cineol content. And by the way, you can smell the different eucalyptus species over at the oil squares later today.
Awesome. Thank you. So it's really fascinating to learn about that process that you went through to curate the new Abode blend. Okay, so we know it smells great. We also know it's very effective. Okay, Isaac, now we're going to talk about some of the testing. So my first question, have you ever been on stage in front of like 40,000 plus people?
Maybe 40.
40, okay. We'll just add a few zeros. But one of the secrets when you're on a stage like this with this many people is you want to make them happy, right? We want to make you guys happy. So Isaac, if you could maybe share with them some of the testing about the efficacy and maybe even some of the results of the testing, I think these 40,000 people will be pretty happy.
Absolutely.
Hey, the louder you chirp, the more he'll share.
So one of our concerns in the laboratory is that we wanted to make sure that we picked a variety of organisms that represented what you, the consumer, would find in your home. And so that's what we did, is that we chose microbes that you commonly find in your home that may cause a problem.
You know, and we wanted to name all of those bacterias and everything that was tested, but legal would not. But I just happened to be in Vivint watching Emily's presentation, and somehow all of that was listed on her slides. So if you need to see that, you can go back and watch that session. But yeah, Isaac, I think I see some of these bacterias that we're tested on.
There's some really good pictures here. Yep. So one of the things that we did is that we did something called the disc diffusion assay. And so what you guys are about to see here is it's a time lapse of one of the studies that we did. What we did is that we took a nutrient agar plate that's meant to grow microbes, and we took an organism and we rubbed it onto the nutrient agar, we streaked it onto it, and then we let it grow in conjunction with a disc that was infused with 3 different oil blends to see how it would work. As you guys can see this, you start to see growth occurring around the edge of the plate. Now keep in mind, this takes a number of days to occur. And so obviously with a time lapse, it's going to go a little bit slower, but they sped it up just so that you guys can understand that this is something that can be effective. And if you look at the one plate, you see the growth covering it, and on the other, with the disc infused with our abode oil blends, you see this clear area around it. And that clear area is known as the zone of inhibition. The zone of inhibition is basically the area in which the organism cannot grow, the bacteria cannot grow. And the bigger the zone, the more effective it is at combating, I guess you could say, that microbe.
Okay, that's it. So, zone of inhibition. I'm telling you, if we would have had a zone of inhibition t-shirt in the marketplace, that would have sold more than the bubble diffuser.
Absolutely.
Right? It would have been the top seller,
Absolutely.
no question. Okay, so I just want to make sure that everybody really understands what they just saw here. So this is a 7-day time-lapse video. And what happened is, keep me on track here.
Yes.
So you put a drop of the abode oil in the Petri dish.
Yes,
Then you introduce the bacteria.
correct.
Right? And you let that grow for 7 days.
Yep. So on one plate, we have no disc at all, just to show what it would look like without a disc, that it's infused with the oil blend. And then with the other one, what it would look like with the oil as that microbe grows around it, but it won't grow near it because of its properties.
So that zone of inhibition, that's a good thing.
That is a very good thing.
Okay, so let me put this in, going back to Ryan. We've been doing some housework, right? So this is Mr. Mom terms here for all the non-science people out there. I am cleaning my kitchen counters. I wipe them down, spray it down with the Abode multi-surface cleaner. Then I start cooking dinner. And I accidentally spilled chicken all over the counter, right? I wipe it up, spray it down with the Abode multi-surface cleaner. I should be cleaner, I should be safer. Is that fair to say?
What I can tell you is that we tested 3 different oil blends against a wide array of microbes. And they are very effective at fighting against a variety of these organisms in your home. And so you can feel a little bit safer after using this product.
Awesome. Okay, so anything else you want to share about the testing or the process that you guys went through?
Just that our product testing team worked really, really hard on this. Robert Mouchet, Melissa Quintana, was led by Melissa Quintana, tested these oil blends, and you can feel safer knowing that you have a high quality product that is used in these dishwasher and laundry pods.
Awesome. Okay, so one thing that we want to be very clear, and it's important to know, is we have actually several different Abode blends, right, Brittany?
That's right.
So as somebody that helped with the formulation of these, can you tell us a little bit more about the difference of the blends and where they're used?
Yes. Yeah, Russell. So we were tasked with creating that signature blend. And we talked about the 10 key oil ingredients used in there, the lime, the litsea, the cassia leaf. So that oil blend is also in the laundry pods and the dish detergent pods. But we worked to create 2 unique oil blends that would have additional ingredients that give added functionality in the dish soap and in the multi-surface cleaner. So those 2 additional ingredients are grapefruit and thymol. So grapefruit is the citrus oil with the highest limonene content available. And limonene is well known to cut grease very effectively. So we use that in the dish soap oil blend. Thymol is actually a natural constituent found in several different essential oils, but we were able to use a concentrated source of thymol in the multi-surface cleaner oil blend.
Awesome. So let me make sure I got that straight. There's 3 different blends. We have the signature blend, the 15 ml bottle, and then a unique blend for the dish soap and the multi-surface cleaner.
Yep.
But then in the pods, the laundry pod, the dishwasher pod, we do use the Abode signature blend because you want your dishes, your clothes refreshed, smelling fresh. Did I get that right?
Exactly.
Awesome. Okay, I know we're running short on time. I do have one more question. But just a plug, if you guys want to learn more, these guys, their team will be over in the Lifestyle Experience. You can ask them any questions and get more details. So my final question, and I'm going to start with you, Ryan.
Okay.
When you think about the future of doTERRA and maybe the Bold line, where do you see this going? What does it look like?
Yeah, so specifically the Bold line, we're continuing to test these products to see what additional uses, what additional claims you can make. And as Becca Nixon, I think she mentioned in her slides that we're already working on some additional products to add to this line. So look for those to come. On our cosmetic and other household lines, we have some really exciting products. Some of those you'll see in the next few months. Some of the really exciting ones you'll see in the next year to 2 years. So there's some really cool things coming out.
That's exciting. Like we're not done yet. We're just starting. Okay, Isaac, how about you?
This is just a small example of ongoing studies that we are doing with research and development. This is a world-class company. We are a world-class lab, and we will continue to lead the world in essential oil science.
Well said. Love it. Brittany.
Well, I'll just add to what Isaac said. I am very proud to work at doTERRA, where we put so much time, energy, and effort into innovative essential oil research. And we're doing such interesting things like looking at new crop cultivars and new plant species and different chemotypes of oils, understanding how minute chemical differences between oils can have a big impact on biological activity. The antimicrobial properties of essential oils are actually really unexplored, and there's a lot of applications. And we're looking at the interaction of essential oils and microbes, not only for home care, but also for human health, and essentially looking at how can we use essential oils to develop a holistic path to well-being.
Well said, yes. So we are out of time. I just want to say thanks once again to you three for the work you've done. Well said. You guys put your heart and soul into this. So let's give them a huge round of applause for our science team and the work that they've done.
Thanks.